Welcome to part 2 of finishing up these ramps. Right now, I just need to finish up some welds here. Need to finish up the stitch welds that are going on in here. Fill in this big gap. Let's get to welding. All finished with these ramps. Pretty stoked on it. I welded these little grippers in. I mean, all I did was put a bead every 6 inches. Hopefully that gives the tracks enough grip coming up this ramp. So in combination of not such a steep incline and the traction on these tracks, or on these ramps, I think we'll be golden. The only thing I need to do now is I need to design something. I mean, I guess not now, because I have the jack stands I'm gonna be putting under here, but I'd like to design something where it can either hinge here or just clamp onto or rest under or whatever, but to support the centerpiece when I put these on there. Because this span, like I said, is 10.5 feet long. It's the length of the tracks. So that skid steer isn't light either. It weighs a couple tons. And this is only 8-inch thick material on all this. So it will warp. So we need to somehow strengthen it up. I didn't want to make these too heavy. Right now I can barely pick one of the ramps up. So to use thicker material, just a little bit more difficult. Thankfully, all I'm gonna do is slide them in and out of the trailer and hook it on there versus picking them up and carrying them around. I just plugged the skid steer in, plugged my truck in. We're gonna go and hook the truck up to the trailer and roll this bad boy on, see if it works. The other thing I am thinking of doing, if those ramps aren't working out perfectly, is see this bottom here? It's all painted. It's really nice looking, but it's super smooth. You can barely walk on this right now. It just, you'll slip. So the tracks in turn will just slip as well. So what I'm also thinking is maybe welding in some bars where the tracks go. Look at that, successful. Went up real easy, didn't feel weird or anything. However, this is a little interesting. Look how much it tweaked that. Shouldn't even say tweak that, how much it just wrecked this. So, looks like what I need to do is cut this out and maybe put a big fat bar in there, solid bar in there, or something. Not 1/8" angle iron, maybe 1/4 inch square tube. Whew, that is rowdy. Did it on this one too, but not as bad. But same thing, just gonna have to put a little some thicker there for it to brace itself on. I didn't think it was gonna bend that bad. I knew it was gonna bend, but not to that degree. Upside is, I believe I felt the little grippers I put on here. Even though they look tiny, it sure makes for a world of difference compared to the slick painted surface. This pretty much concludes the whole ramp building for now. Who would have thunk a 8,000 pound machine would have crumpled 1/8" steel like a soda can? So we're just going back to the drawing board. So the new plan is, because this is going to be a point where I'm going to have some kind of support under it, I'm actually going to drill a hole or pop a hole here with the plasma torch and thread a 1" thick bar through here. Put a repad plate on both sides and then weld that fully in. That should give it enough strength. Now I'm curious what the next weak point will be. But other than that, the ramps did great. Like, it's the perfect incline, it was the perfect approach. I could feel these little grippers really grip. You know, it's just kind of back to the old drawing board deal right now, which that's fine. Also, you can see that it tore out the weld. This actually tore out the metal. The weld did what it was supposed to do, but I don't really have a good welder, or I shouldn't say a good welder. My welder isn't really a really hot welder. It's meant for 3/16 steel and thinner, which this is 1/8" thick, so it did it just fine. However, a hotter welder, someone with a little bit more power, would have really burned in, got a little deeper in there. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna make it stronger through other means. Anyways, I would like to say that concludes it all. Check out my other videos. All right, see you later.